We're live. Hello, Jill. How are you on this lovely Wednesday?
Hello, Samikins. I'm so happy to see you.
I am very happy to see you. I'm so glad we have another little get together to get us warmed up before next week. Or not next week. Oh, no. It literally is like end of next week.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Jill and I had to sort out a little bit of internet connectivity things, so you might notice.
I am in a car, so I start driving on Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're going early. So Jill and I have a little bit of a lag to each other.
A little bit of tech problem.
So I'm already like a little terrified, but we're going to like really do our best. Let's see here. So today we are doing, we're having a little birthday bash, and we've each sent each other 3 items. And so we have a total of 6 items in a palette. Jill has it laid out the best there. So I'm going to make her screen big for a second so we can see everything that we got. Do you want to walk us through the beads we have for today, Jill?
Let's see here. I added a couple of things. So just FYI, there's like some rogue seed beads that weren't part of.
Jill, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you.
And I got to tell you, Sam.
Is there if there's anything else you can do to adjust the Wi-Fi at all that might help a little bit? But we will do our best here. So like you seem to come in and out, like you seem like you're there. Y'all, Jill has been working all day to try to get things adjusted. And then we just spent the last half hour trying to get things finalized. So no, we are doing our best to bring you some bead joy today. And if it comes to it, we can always pause. Jill's checking her settings for a second. So what I'm going to do is show folks the beads here. I'm just going to mute Jill for just a second. Oh, if it lets me, it doesn't let me. So Jill sent me 3 wonderful items. So number 1 are these cloudy lavender opal, silver lined, I think Miyuki's they're looking like here, but she would be able to correct better. I feel like I've seen, I associate this color a lot with Jill. I'm pretty sure I've seen her make a lot of designs with it. She must have a bunch of it at her warehouse. It is gorgeous. So I have some ideas for that. She sent me some 3mm Preciosa bicones, which are so sparkly, and I've already spilled them everywhere. And they have an AB coating on one side, which is absolutely gorgeous. By the way, Jill, I muted you, so whatever point, just unmute yourself. And we can start our hang. Look how sparkly these are, y'all. Like, I just want to stare at them all day long. And then the third item Jill sent would be these hoops. And I've already started using 3 of them, which I'll show in a moment. So these are 3 items you can get from Jill's site, Jill Wiseman Designs. And so these are the 30mm rhodium plated brass connectors. I love that they're flat on the sides, which is helping me with the project I'm working on. And then the 3 Sam's Bead Shop contributions we have here is this purple button. So if you haven't figured out yet, the whole palette is themed all things Jill. It's blues, purples, and blurples. So we have this like deep, great purple check glass button. And to go with, we sent Jill some of these beautiful faceted turbines.
I am obsessed with those.
They go so. Also, I love that you sent all the purples and we sent the blue. Now we have a whole Jill palette here. Also, your audio is really good. So A+ job, Jill.
Yes, I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. It was a rogue cord. Yeah, I had to change out a cord. Go figure.
Oh my gosh, this is what it's like to have a normal conversation without 10-second delays between. My anxiety
Well, and I
was
wasn't hearing you
flying.
hardly at all. Yeah. Because we've got people who want to see our beads.
I know. So thank you for your patience. It looks like we're smooth sailing now. Knock on wood.
Oh no, we're still having
folks
a little bit of issues.
Okay. Here's the last item of the palette is some white moonstone from Sam's Bead Shop, hand cut in India. And this is another one. They have a similar glow to Jill's fancy. I was trying to remember if these are Mukis or Tohos here.
Those are actually Tohos. That is a silver-lined opal bead. Yeah, I love the silver-lined opal because they just have this glow about them.
It reminds me of a gemstone because like my favorite gemstones are ones that have the inner shine, inner personality, like moonstone has agilurescence. We need a similar word for sea beads like that too. It's like a very gem-like feel to me. So I'm really liking those. And so, okay, that's all the items. We've now shown all 6 items that we're working with today.
Moonstone.
Agilurescence. That one's newer to me because at first I just knew chatoyance for tiger eye. And then I learned agilurescence for moonstone.
Yeah, that's what I would use. Right.
And then labradorescence for labradorite. All the fun words.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to your layout here because you have it beautifully laid out on your tray. You looks like you've already got a project going there.
I cheated a little. And I started a little early because I really wanted to use, these hoop rings, and it was kind of unadorned by itself. And so I decided that I was going to brick stitch around the edge. And so I got that done beforehand. Obviously, I only got it done on one, but I got that done ahead of time. And I may actually add one more row of brick stitch around here. Because here's my design idea. First of all, I'm going to add the heart first, and then I'm going to wire wrap. And I'm going to wire wrap these guys in a dangle that is going to go past the hoop. So this is going to hang loose, and it can be on the front or it can be on the back. And so I've got to play with kind of what that dangle looks like on its way down. But that's my general plan.
The direction you're going.
I decided I needed some new jewelry to wear for Tucson,
I've had the same thought. Like, well, last year I went such pressure.
Exactly. And last year I went and I didn't basically wear any jewelry at all last year. I was kind of incognito. And everybody else was like all so fancy and wearing their best stuff. And I'm like, oh man, this year I've got to level up.
I got inspired because I saw Wyatt from Beading. He wears like the biggest jewels possible during shows. So I think it was in Lancaster when I saw him wear his like jumbo tanzanites. Jill, you would have died as a tanzanite Blurple lover. You would have been on the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him about that in Tucson.
Oh my gosh, he made a comment like, yeah, this was it was not a cheap strand, but he wears it all the time. I was like, it's like his thing. So I've been thinking
I did break out my most expensive strand ever right here, blue diamonds. Yeah, a whole strand of blue diamonds that I bought in Hong Kong when I was there in 2018 or which is 2019, one of those years.
Well, that's fancy.
Every once in a while, you got to bring out the really good stuff.
I'm trying to think of like what, because now I love the idea of like just putting on full gem for Tucson. So I'm going to have to string up just even a couple of my favorite strands. Maybe I have some like a strand of rubies I really like, a strand of amethyst. I'm going to need a couple options for Tucson.
You're going to need a lot of options. We're there a lot of days.
Yeah, we really went for it this year. Hi, Nile.
Uh-oh. My partner in crime over there.
Oh my goodness. Nile, we're very excited to see you.
Yes.
My gosh, it's like just days away.
I know.
So I also started 20 minutes early just to like start playing around with some of the components you sent me, because I had ideas floating around of what I could do with these components. I'm like, the more I work with them, the more I'm liking them, particularly because they have these here, I want to show you, but they have these flat sides to them, which really lends to wire work, which I'm assuming why you like them too, because I'm assuming you like brick stitching on them as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I started, I kind of started over here to see how I could link them together. So I went with like a basic weave there. This is some 24 gauge.
That's all fancy schmancy.
I'll show you. It literally is wrap. That's the technique here. Okay. And then I added a bead. So my dream, if I can pull it off, is this would be the center of my focal.
Ooh, I like it.
And then I can finish it off here. So
Yum.
that's my dream.
Jill approves.
I love this. And then my ideas for the sea beads is for the strand. I want just to be like all crystal, purple, and moonstone. So I'll kind of a more blue, silver focal, and then kind of color block the chain as a separate tone.
And because it's going to be in blurples, it can be like your Jill tribute piece.
I can wear it one day in Tucson, and then I'll pass it off, so you can wear it for a couple days, and then Nile can wear it.
I like where you're going with this.
Maybe that's how we have enough jewelry for Tucson, is we just need to swap around each day.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That is pretty funny.
So all I'm doing for the weave, for folks that are curious like how this comes together, is it's kind of a figure 8 pattern. So I'm going around that ring and then down behind the other ring. So it's always coming up the front. So I can then go behind the opposite one. And it starts to naturally form at least a decent weave pattern. There's weaving experts. I don't claim to be one, but I love the look of a weave. And when I have the patience to do it, I get very into it.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think I have the patience that you have with jewelry making, Jill. I see some of the pieces you make, and I think of how long it must have taken you to do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of nuts that way, but I find when I'm sitting and doing bead weaving, which of course is what I'm known for the most, I find it very calming and zen. Mm-hmm. And so, because my brain is usually racing 1,000,000 miles an hour all day long, and being able to just sit in one place and do that, sometimes my brain still races while I'm doing it, but it settles. It's like my happy place, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things when I used to do shows. It's been probably 6 or 7 years since I've exhibited at a show, but I spent probably 15 years on the show circuit and selling my kits and patterns. And the most often heard question or the comment from people who were there was, "Oh my God, you must have so much patience." And my answer has always been, it gives me patience, because I'm not a very patient person. But when I sit down and do this, there's just something that comes over me that it allows me to like just slow down a little bit. And that's what makes me maybe basically not go crazy and not kill people. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that on live, am I? But I know that they all know what I'm talking about.
But truly, like, I think we have similar minds potentially. And as something we talked at length about when we met in Tucson last year. And we needed those things that like feel grounding.
Yes.
So my brain loves novelty. So even the fact of getting to like play here with 3 new beads that are just thrown at me gives that enough spark that is like, ooh, it's a fun little challenge here.
Right. Something that you maybe haven't encountered before. And so you can play with and be challenged. Yeah, I love that too.
Like I guess even new for me is I haven't even worked a lot with our heart cuts yet, despite how shiny they are.
Tempting they are.
And we had them in like 15 different stones. It was very exciting. I'm waiting on a new batch because certain folks are like, where are some of the favorite stones sold out? So I'm working on that.
I know how that goes.
Excuse me.
We always want those to show up faster than they do. So that's one of the things I like about Tucson is it's instant gratification when you're buying. It's not waiting for a package to come. It's you walk away with beads.
Right then. And then what's cool is like, because I know we're both going to do some live sales from Tucson. Yeah. That's like, we'll let you know all of our details, but Jill and I are both going to be live from Tucson as we shop to our heart's content. And what was cool about last year is we were able to do a live sale, and for certain beads, we could try to go back and get more if we needed to.
Yeah.
And like, that's such a huge difference that you don't typically get, I guess, like day to day. So I'm excited for that.
Definitely. It's one of those things when you're buying for your shop, there's always kind of a question about, I mean, it's a gamble every time, right? Are my people going to like it? So there's
like a best guess sort of scenario.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily we both have a pretty good track record. We know pretty much what our people like. And, but there's still a little bit of nerves every time. So I love that you're able to test it just right in real time before you make a big financial investment. Because let's face it, you and I are about to spend a whole lot of money.
Last year, Tucson, I have never spent that much dough, Jill. I was like, whoa.
I saw what you were buying and I was going, whoa.
It was just like too good to pass up. Like I was like, oh, this
under the table. I just dropped my link that I was making.
Here's a little.
Okay.
Something in the middle of my throat. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I saw what Sam was buying last year, and I was impressed. So that was our first opportunity to meet last year in Tucson, and it was so much fun because we bonded right away. And we had Nile there, and all, Jesse was there, and everybody was there. And it's hard to know whether I like the shopping better in Tucson or the socializing better in Tucson. Because during the COVID timeframe, of course, all the bead shows went away. And so you stopped being able to see people in person. And so you met, Sam and I, quote unquote, met on the internet. We met on Facebook. And so getting to meet each other in real life for the first time last year was, that was just, it's one of those things where on Facebook or whatever, you can kind of get a sense of somebody, but you don't know if you're really going to click until you're in person. And we all got together for dinner that first night, and it was like instant click.
Right. Yeah,
remember we stayed out of the restaurant.
Right, I was going to say, didn't we get kicked out?
Yeah, we did. The manager finally came up and went, yeah, so we're closing out the register now. And so we're really, this is your last warning. We need you to go.
There were too many stories to tell. And we had to, I remember that we chatted like the next day at lunch. We made ourselves take a break from buying and just sit and talk because there was still more to talk about.
Yes. And we still haven't finished. I mean, we still have a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
Now I feel like we have to catch up on the last year.
I know. Well, and at first we did really good keeping in touch with texting and emails and stuff. And, as the year goes on, you're busy and everything. And we kind of lost that. And so that's one of the things I'm really excited about is reconnecting with, my friends. So, I don't know. Well, like I said, I love the shopping, but I almost think that the socializing is even better than that.
I mean, that's what I remember the most from last year because I got to meet so many people for the first time last year.
Yeah.
Like, it was so crazy. It just like, and now I hope this year might have a little different feel of just like, oh, now I get to see Jill and we just get to hang out and like, there's hopefully like an even more ease to it.
Exactly. I think there will be. As a matter of fact, speaking of catching up and stuff, how is my kitty cat, my god kitten, doing?
Dinky is doing great. Thanks for asking. Let's see. I try to take a daily photo.
And they're not getting texted to me. Why?
I added you to the shared album.
Okay. Well, I honestly haven't had a chance to even go look at that. So I'll go to the album and get my.
That's
my
what
daily
I'm
fix.
posting all because I felt like I was starting to spam people, so I made the album so I wouldn't spam people.
They could choose whether to go look or not.
Let's see. Oh, my favorite photo of recent is this one. What?
The tongue, the blep.
Like that's like what she normally looks like, but then her little tongue.
That's what they call that. That's a blep.
Blep.
When they put the tongue out like that. I love it.
Yeah, she's gotten even more comfortable over the last week. So she loves her snuggle time. Anytime I get home or when I wake up, it's like immediately like I need snuggle time. But then later it's like I don't need to be near you anymore. Thank you.
I'm done with you.
I've gotten what I need.
I have used you and now you may leave, peasant. That's, a cat.
Like, thank you for refilling my food.
Well, she was very smart to come find you and decide that you were going to be her human.
She's a smart one. I keep buying her things that she doesn't use. I got her like a fun little cat bed that's enclosed. I was like, oh, she's gonna love this. She hasn't gone in once. Doesn't care. Nope.
She's got catitude.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a cat, but my entire Facebook feed is filled with cat groups. I'm like cat obsessed, but I have no cat, so I have to live vicariously.
Well, you have kind of a cat-sized dog.
True, but that dog is why we can't have a cat because she chases cats. And so while we have Poppy, we have decided it's unfair to do that to a kitty cat. So once Mom and I have decided we've had dogs for 40 solid years now. And so we are not adopting any more dogs. We are switching over to cats.
I'm kind of converted because I'm a dog person. And there's a nice ease about cats.
Yes.
And it kind of works better with my schedule because I get home late pretty often, usually because I'm playing pickleball until far too late. And then she's fine. I mean, I'm sure she would love some more attention some nights, but like I get home and I make sure to give her some nice social time, some play time.
Some daddy time.
Clean litter box. But she seems pretty content with her little heated blanket. She's fine.
Yeah.
Well, my heated blanket that is now her heated blanket.
Yes, that happens too. I love it. You are now owned by a cat. It always cracks me up when people say, oh, you know, I own a cat or whatever. No, they own you. Trust me, that's the way it works.
All right, let's give folks some little updates. So when I should preface, when I wire work, it's a little bit like a sandbox. I don't like follow perfect technique. I don't do the same thing, usually the same. I don't always follow the same patterns and whatnot. Not usually my focus. I just try to smush something together and kind of see what comes out. So my next challenge here was putting on this button. So while it looks great from the front, what I've been doing is I am currently kind of crossing around the shank in the back. It's connected to the wire, but now to kind of secure it, I'm trying to I'm just kind of reinforcing it with a bit of extra wire. So I'm just kind of going around the back of the ring. And the more I do this should start to hold it in place. And I kind of liking it. It looks like a little jewel at the center of what this necklace will be. So here's, again, where we're going. And I added, Jill, your Preciosa crystals. They're so sparkly.
I know. And they're Tanzanite AB, which is like the best color in the whole world.
So there's my update. Can we get a Jill Wiseman update?
Yes. So I did the first couple links, and I used wire wraps for the links. And once I started connecting them together, I decided I didn't like the wrap. I think the wrap adds too much texture, and it also makes it too long in between. So now I'm going back and I'm going to create simple loops to do attachments. And because I really am the pits at making simple loops, I am using the one-step looper tool. I never know how much to cut off with us to make a simple loop. I could never get it quite right. And very picky. I want it to be perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing simple about a simple loop ever, ever.
Yeah, I think it's completely misnamed.
There's things like I have had to try to learn to standardize it to try to make it a little easier. But sometimes you even still try the tricks, and sometimes they themselves you still have to kind of refine those. I am a wrap loop evangelist.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
It
always looks so pretty, but in this case, it was just making them too long.
Is that possible, Jill?
I don't know. I've seen people wearing shoulder duster earrings that go down past their shoulders these days.
Exactly.
So maybe I should totally do one of those for Tucson, a pair of earrings like that.
You got to keep your shoulders clean, okay?
I have to dust your shoulders every once in a while.
All that bead dust from digging through the booths. I think you need something like that.
I think so. Oh, Lord. Tucson is going to be so much fun.
I had some...
man.
I give too many ideas for Tucson now. Also, I think every time I'm near you, I'm convinced I am a bead weaver. This happened in Tucson last year. I was texting Jill from the plane ride back. I was like, look, I think it was a peyote tube. And the first one went great. And then the next one was I don't need the directions for the next one. Nope.
Overconfident.
It disintegrated. And then Jill sent the most supportive text saying that it is okay. That happens to even an experienced bead weaver. Sometimes you just kind of start over again. It is okay. And that was
true.
a nice kindness, especially as I was still just absorbing some of the basics of bead weaving. And I kind of have taken a long pause, but I've decided today.
I was going to say, have you ever gone back to it? A long pause. Let me guess, about a year? Yeah, exactly. I'm on to you, Sam Siegel. I may have
Well,
only
you
known you
found me
for a
out.
year, but I know you too well already.
I know I've done some raw. I've done some right. I like raw because it makes a lot of sense to my brain.
How interesting, because that's usually the stitch that people struggle with the most.
Because raw is I think the most similar to wire work to me. Like I can really see where the thread's supposed to go.
People who have kind of an engineering brain do well with raw. What, you think that's weird? You
No,
don't
I'm
think
sure
you have
that's
an
true. I'm
engineering
just
brain?
thinking, I'm just like reflecting, do I have an engineering brain? I don't think I have an engineering
What
brain.
is that thing that
Jesse
you're
just laughed.
engineering right now? You do with jewelry, you do. Look at what you're engineering right now.
Uh-huh. I guess
So
impossible.
don't even tell me that you don't.
That's interesting.
It's the whole concept of the shared walls and all that kind of thing that kind of throws people for a loop. And so when
Mhm.
I'm teaching it, I'm usually telling them that each right angle weave unit is like a house. You got the roof and the floor and the right wall and the left wall. And so then it's
Mhm.
like building an apartment. When you're doing the next unit, the ceiling of the first unit is the floor of your next unit. So like building an
That makes
apartment.
sense.
Yeah. And so sometimes I can help them out with that kind of visualization.
Mhm.
The other thing, my other tip on right angle weave that's very effective is that when you get to an intersection and you're trying to figure out which way to go, it's like a one-way street. You can turn right, you can turn left, but you can't go straight ahead because that's the wrong way. And that makes sure that your thread is not going to pass through one of those intersections. So I'm always trying to come up with visualizations for people, things that will help
Yeah.
them figure it out themselves until it becomes just an automatic kind of
Right.
movement. Because it will
Because
eventually become
Rachel's
automatic.
right, because Rachel's been doing a lot of weaving over the last year. And so for her, like she sees if she wants to change something, she knows the basic techniques now enough that she can adjust things as needed and combine the stitches as needed when she
Yeah.
needs to like add a loop to something. And like I'm sure that just kind of comes more with time with it.
That's very true. I've always had people ask me, like, all I can do is follow other people's patterns. When is it that I'm gonna like feel like I can design? And I said, well, first you have to have a library of stitches to be able to like
Right.
even figure out how to make something that you have a visualization for. What stitch is going to be the best for that? So it does take time because you do have to have all of that experience and with each individual stitch. When I'm designing a bead weaving something, I kind of will have the shape in my head. I want to make this shape. Now, which stitch is going to make that the easiest to do? Is it herringbone that's very flexible? Is it peyote that's going to be very straight? Is it right angle weave where I can kind of branch off in all sorts of different directions? And until you have experience with all those stitches, you don't know how to analyze that.
Right. I want to give folks a quick tutorial or just kind of 101 on this weave. This is pretty much the only weave type I know, and there's so many variations on this weave. But essentially, I kind of liked how I did it best. This one in the middle, where I ended up doing weaving top and bottom because I think that adds a bit more structural integrity. Versus the first time I did the weave from the middle, but didn't leave room for myself, so I ended up just going one direction. So what I've adapted by now is I've started the weave with the middle of my wire to start my figure eight motion. And just know that the start of the weave is always going to be the hardest because it's kind of when your two buddies are just starting to get to know each other here. So basically but it's also kind of nice. It gives you time to adjust. So I'm going to do a couple wraps and then I can move things around a little bit. Maybe I want to move that hoop like up a little bit more. I still have that opportunity because nothing's been really secured yet. So what I'm gonna do is follow my same pattern. This is my non-working one, but my working wire here, I always like to pull it through from the base to help it from kinking. And then we're following that figure eight. We're gonna go outside, below, pull from the base back through, so we can come always from the inside of the circle out. So it's coming out, going over the ring, and under the opposite ring. You can do this in reverse. I just like the look of it this way. And it's especially helpful to come in with some pliers in the early stages because you're working in such a small space. You can really come here and clean it up a bit just with some gentle shoves. And then continue your weave. So I'm basically using one working wire to weave up this direction, and then I'll probably do the same in some way the other way. That's the current thinking. So the piece is evolving as I go. It will not be perfectly symmetrical, but that might not be my goal here, especially if I'm the one wearing it most, or if it's just Jill and I wearing it too, Tucson, it's okay.
I was going to say, wait, I'm wearing it too, aren't I?
But again, you'll know the story behind it.
That's right. I'll be saying, and then see, this is where Sam screwed up. And
this is where Sam learned that, ooh, this is a little better this way.
You know, that's such an important lesson though, too, isn't it? For people who watch, because adult learners always expect to do something perfect the very first time they do it.
Which is wild. Like, we don't expect a child to do this
exactly.
Like to learn something and like know how to read and write. Like, what?
People are so hard on themselves. And look, here we both have a lot of experience, and both of us are learning things about our projects as we go. So this is one of the things I've always said is you pay me the big bucks because I have done it every wrong way. So I know how to tell you the right way to do it.
Right. I love when people say that about pricing their jewelry. It's like, you know how many hours went in to learn how to do this brick stitch, make it look Jill Wiseman good here. Like, my brick stitch wouldn't look like that. I guarantee it.
So I wanted to show the difference between the two links. Speaking of, getting better at something. Look at, so this one is the one with the simple loops. And of course I added a bottom dangle, and then this was the other one. And I really like the streamlined simplicity of this one so much better. And now I am getting to where I'm ready to attach it. Look how good that's going to look. I'm loving this.
This is fun.
So what I decided to do, and I'll show you guys this because I still have this thread attached. I am probably going to go ahead and add a second color round here. I was going to add this color, some blue, to kind of tie in.
Kind of chalky. Is it chalky?
Yeah, it is kind of like a semi-glazed. And so I'm going to add another row, but I'll show you guys how I'm going to attach this to the ear wire. On the last row that I do, I'm going to use actually a wire guard. And so I'm taking my thread up through a wire guard. Love these for a nice metal to metal attachment on a bead woven ear wire, because a metal to metal attachment means that it's going to dangle really smoothly. So a wire guard is kind of like this U-shaped thing. It's got a little tunnel on one side and a tunnel on the other side. And then up here, there's like a little channel. And your thread or your beading wire, a lot of these people use these with beading wire also, but my thread, I want to make sure that it's sitting right in that channel right there. So I'm going to go down through the second tube and then into the hole of the Delica that's right next to the one that I came out of. And as I'm pulling my thread, I'm going to put my finger over it so that I can encourage my thread to sit in that channel, because it is possible for your thread to pop over it. So and it'll be really obvious if that happens, because you'll end up with a piece of thread going across from tunnel to tunnel. It won't be sitting in that channel. And then I'm going to just reinforce this. So I'm going to just pop over to the original Delica, up through the tunnel. Come on, boo-boo. There we go. And down again. Oh, and see, Jill just did a bad thing. I was intending to, well, I'll do it with a jump ring. I was going to say I was intending to attach my ear wire right there.
Wait, it's so nice to know that you could, that bad habit can, or that normal habit can translate to bead weaving too. Oh, I feel great. The number of times I have done that with a wired loop.
Oh, so many times. So many times. Yay, I'm being able to pull it out. See, I was so busy, giving direction. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I mean, it's a believable story.
All right, so this time, let's get the needle threaded back up here. It's always my most dreaded task on camera is threading a needle, because the minute you have to do that, it takes you forever. All right.
I put my needle on my thread before we started because I didn't want to go through.
All right, so now I put the dangle in between there, and now I'm going to attach it again. So here we go. Like so. And I'm actually not sure if it's going to hang nicely that way. No, it's going to hang off to the side, and that's not really what I want it to look like anyway. So see, I didn't do it wrong because I'm going to end up attaching it with a jump ring anyway. So now I'm going to take the dangle off again, but I had to try it because in my brain it worked. So here's one of the ways I can tell you not to do it.
I guess it makes sense, right? Because it needs something to kind of hang from below the ring.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that it was going to be centered on the top, but it's not.
Right.
It wants to be on the bottom, of course, because of the weight. See, there's the engineering brain.
You could see bead an entire building, Jill.
But I wouldn't. I wouldn't wanna. As I get older, and of course my job is very busy. I'm always very busy, and I really appreciate projects now that take less time. So I'm always thinking in terms of components these days that give you the option of doing a whole bunch if you want to, but you don't have to necessarily. And I definitely feel like I'm designing for that person these days who maybe they want to they're willing to dedicate a couple of hours to a project, but not an entire month.
Yeah.
Because I have designed those projects before, and like I don't have time to do them. So why would I assume that you have time to do them?
Yeah, I think I tend to like those sorts of projects. I actually don't. With wire, like, yes, you can get super concrete with wire, but like a typical wire project you can usually do in one sitting.
Right.
Although I've seen wire pendants that are so intricate that in the same way that I've seen bead woven pieces that are so intricate that I can't even tell where it starts and ends.
Yeah. And while I can design those kinds of things, I don't really enjoy it. Because part of my thing is I want you to wear your projects every day. I don't want you to wait till you gather with all your bead weaving friends and you're getting all dressed up and there's a big occasion. I want you to wear it to the grocery store. I want you to wear it to work. And so I want a piece of jewelry that is not only a little bit quicker, but also kind of classic and more casual in style, maybe. Classy, but casual.
Or you could just be extra and wear your bingo statement pieces to Safeway.
And I'm all for that. That's the other thing is don't wait to wear these things. So I will have people who say that, oh, it's too nice for me to wear that. And I'm like, are you kidding
What?
me? If you enjoy it, wear it. You definitely
Absolutely.
should. All right. Now let's see if I can get this. Let me get my other pliers here. Get this jump ring to do what I want it to. Otherwise, I might have to do some more fun engineering here to get it to hang just the way I want it to. Okay, there we go. And now I just need to get this closed. I need 15 hands, please.
I need like another hour, Jill.
No.
I feel like we just got warmed up.
I feel like I just got warmed up. Well, no, I mean, I got almost an earring done. I got 2/3 of an earring done.
No, in terms of like my mood, I'm like,
Mood.
now I'm here with Jill.
Well, yeah. I
guess that was the point of today. This was our pre-Tucson prep, and then we can have unlimited hours starting on next Friday. Yes.
So I want to know what's the stone that you're looking for most while you're there? What'll get you really excited to find?
So there's been like really nice rough material coming out of Brazil for dark amethyst.
Ooh, yeah.
There was like kind of a pause for a bit where it got kind of brown, but seems to be a pretty nice stock available of dark purple. And so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that this year because there's been enough time over the last year for it to be cut into beads. There's kind of a cycle with this. Yeah. I was talking to like an opal cutter in Tucson last year where he said he comes to Tucson to buy all his opal rough. And then the next year he comes back with the beads.
With it cut. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I just have to confess here for a second real quick. Let me show you. I did it. I attached it with the jump ring. I'm happy with the way it looks, but I accidentally did the one with the wire wraps, not the one that I meant to attach.
Why am I so happy though? I think
because it was like my fourth mistake.
No, Jill, I think do not take that off.
I want this one. It's longer. It's prettier. No, it's going to be worth it. This is
loop one ends up being longer.
Yeah, because I put an extra link on it. I gave up on this guy before I got the third link. So it's going to be even better.
I must just be so biased towards wire wrap loops because I think they're like amazing.
Well, they are. This is just a little awkward to get the jump ring here because it's just so many pieces. Okay, there we go. Come on, baby. I just want to switch out wire links. That's all. Not that one. Yes to this one. Oh, and I'm such an idiot. I could have just done it with the simple loop. Duh.
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. What the heck, Sam? You could have saved me from that.
Jill.
It was your job to save me from that. There we go. See how much better that looks.
Okay, it looks really good.
I love this earring. I love it. I may not even have the blue on the outside of the ring. I'll probably test it and see if I like it or not, but I love this. I am wearing these earrings to our date night in Tucson.
Yes.
And you better be wearing that necklace too for date night.
I will be, and then we'll swap. Okay. Well, I won't have my ears pierced. I was supposed to get my ears pierced with you, but we didn't get.
Yeah,
to that
I
yet.
know.
So if we have time in Tucson, we could do it then. Okay.
Promise. I'm gonna live stream it.
I'm open to it. You know how long I've been watching for so long, Jill. Because I want little gemmy studs.
If we don't get it done at Tucson, you're coming to Austin, and we're doing it then.
I was really looking forward to it. I can't believe I double booked myself last year for our trip. That I was so mad at myself. You have no idea.
I'm probably gonna, when we book a trip for you to come to Austin, I'm going to check in with your entire family first to make sure that you haven't double booked yourself.
Well, we also have Shira now. So Shira
That
wouldn't
woman
have let that happen.
is an organizing demon.
Uh-huh. She doesn't mess around.
Holy smokes. You are not kidding. You are not kidding at all.
So
I
I'm gonna
love
give
her.
myself. I adore Shira. We feel like Shira and I figured out what we feel the closest to, and it feels like siblings.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like it's a different dynamic. All right, quick pause here. I want a little link, like a nice secure place to be able to connect the rest of my necklace. So I've come in with some bail making pliers, and I'm gonna make a loop. This is something I learned from Rachel Malice. So all you have to do is pull that over to start, and then keep it on the pliers so you can maintain the shape as you pull that on through. Jill's wearing her earrings. I'm going to zoom on her a second. So I'm going to come in and do a couple of loops after it. Maybe 3. 3 is nice and secure. And so what that does is it makes kind of a more subtle loop there that can be a connection point.
Very cool.
And so I'm going to bring those coils. I like to clean up as I go.
Tuck your tail, mister.
Wait, should we have a fancy night in Tucson? Should I bring one fancy outfit?
I don't think I own a fancy outfit, dude. I'd have to go shopping.
Just wear all your just wear the blue sapphire, the blue diamonds, okay?
Okay, I'll wear the blue diamonds because those are very fancy. Yes. And they go with my earrings. I mean, look at this. I'm just so in love with my earring. And I'm so in love with that.
So it's coming along. I'm gonna figure out how many more crystals, because I can easily just wrap on, probably add more crystals here, and then I'll probably mirror with more crystals on this side. I did more weaving here. TBD if I do that. It's gonna be a little hard to fill in because of the coiling I did there. But I don't know if I care.
No.
But I'll probably fill in crystals. The last thing, actually, I promised I would zoom in on Jill's earrings.
Oh, yes. And I'm all geeky because I still have the thread attached, the thread and needle attached, but I just had to see how it looked. And I love it.
It's kind of fun because it looks like you're wearing almost 2 earrings in one.
Right. I'm trying to decide if I need to add another link, if I want to make it even longer. I don't know.
Is it?
We should let
I wish. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you wish what?
I was about to say it'd be so cool to figure out how to interlock the links so that you could like have a brick stitched one and locking, but the only way to do it would be to cut the link open. I think it would be very difficult. But like the idea of like another brick stitch loop interlocking with it theoretically sounds fun to my brain. Or it could just be hanging from it, I guess, too.
I was going to say, I can totally make another loop happen inside there. These rings that we are using today are 30 millimeter connector rings. And I carry them in a range of sizes from like 12 millimeter up to 60 millimeter. So I can always put a smaller one with brick stitch on the outside in there also. Or I could put a square in there.
Cool.
So basically now I'm not going to sleep tonight because I'm going to be making these earrings even more elaborate because Sam wanted them a little more mush.
And here I am trying to use a needle and thread to finish the rest of this necklace, which is probably ridiculously ambitious. So I thought maybe I would, while I have you on the phone, help you get me going just to make sure I'm like visualizing. So I have my needle, I put a stop bead, which I know not everyone uses that, but I like the idea of that. So I don't maybe lose all my beads.
Right.
And so I basically just want to make a long chain is the general idea. When I'm starting this is the end where my stop bead is, that can be the side that I can connect to my necklace if I want, right? Like there's not one way to do this. Yeah, okay. As I say this out loud, it makes it, I could do whatever I want. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless I make it like super long, and then I guess I could just make it as one giant chain without a clasp.
Right.
But I'm gonna go with two. We'll do this. I'll make myself bead weave twice.
So proud of you.
Okay, but let me just do like a couple links, and then to make sure I'm like still visualizing this right, because I haven't done raw in a second.
Okay.
Let's see, do we think this needle will fit through? Oh, thank goodness.
Yay.
Oh no.
Oh, not the eye. Oh, you're gonna need a smaller needle. You probably have a size 10 there. You're gonna need a 12.
Okay. Well, let me do with a different bead for now. Oh my goodness, of course. Okay, so my general idea is I would love to be able to kind of come back through beads. I want to decorate all my beads with Jill's purple. That's my dream here.
Okay.
So, come on, Fates. I believe you can string up my needle.
I was going to say, you pick them up that way, huh? You're one of those people.
I'm hoping for the best here. All right, I'm literally gonna do one link, and then I'll have your blessing to do this necklace. Wow, I did a really long thread. I'm gonna not like this. Okay. Jill, I lost my needle.
We're about to fire you from seed bead weaving school.
I think you have to.
I do applaud you for the effort, you know?
I appreciate that, Jill. All right, we're doing one bead here. Oh my gosh. Why did I make this so long? Oh no.
Yeah. And that is a number one tip that I will give anybody who's, just dabbling in bead weaving. Don't make your thread too long, because the longer it is, the more you have to get it tangled on and screw it up. And so don't be like Sam.
Okay, that's the idea. I think I have to undo it and do a few less beads, but I think that I kind of want basically the Jill purple to run through the whole necklace.
So that's basically what you're going to be doing, is basically the equivalent of a spiral rope.
Okay.
And so it's going to look absolutely gorgeous.
Theoretically. Yeah, so because then now I know I have to follow back through to undo this. So we're gonna do that off camera, and we're gonna nail it.
Yeah, well, I'm the person who's sitting here with an earring and a thread and needle attached. So we're all a little bit weird.
Here, I'm just gonna hold up my pendant.
Oh yes.
Not you can only see the button because it's all silver.
But it's going to be gorgeous. Well, and in person, you're really going to see the flash of the crystals and stuff.
Yeah.
And if I know you're going to go back and you're going to add even more stuff. So
this is possible, but I won't wear a piece if I make it too intricate. So I'm hoping to keep it mostly like this, because right now I really like it. The button.
Yeah.
And then the crystals are perfect complement. So I'm loving the creative juices that are going, and I'm very thankful to you for spending the time to be here to get us to this point.
I'm so pleased that we both love the designs that we came up with, and we overcame the technical difficulties. And
we solved the tech. I feel like now we could do whatever, we could do anything.
I know. Well, and so I'm getting into Tucson on next Friday. Are you already there Friday?
I get in on Friday.
Wherever you are, I'm coming and finding you, and I need a hug. I can't wait to see you.
Lots of hugs. And then I've already, some of the cutters are like, do you want to come on Friday to start shopping? Like, no, I'm going to be doing nothing on Friday. I'm okay. The show starts Saturday. Please. we're gonna rest and prepare for the next 10 days of shopping and bead friend time.
Oh my
And
gosh. Yeah.
so I would like a hug every day, please.
It's done. We've got a daily appointment, the hug appointment.
Because I remember we both had a little tired moment at the same time when we were shopping. And that's when we kind of exited to take our lunch and just like breathe for a second. We're like, we have to both pause. Because
Yes.
you can really want to keep going and going nonstop, but it's not possible. This decision
It's very
fatigue sets in.
intense. Yeah, it's very intense because not only is it lots of people and faces and talking and laughing, but then you're also really concentrating on your buying too. And so by the end of every day in Tucson, I am just a marshmallow. I mean, I can't even hardly move when I get back to the hotel. And it'll be interesting because this year, Nile and I are sharing an Airbnb, and we've already kind of had the discussion that like we're gonna go to our separate wings and like not talk, but after we get home, you just need some quiet downtime.
Yeah, you two chatty Cathy's. Good luck with that.
That's the theory. We're gonna try.
So you have some. I think you have some stuff going on when you're in Tucson. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna be doing live sales from Tucson. So I'm doing one on Sunday, and I don't have a calendar right here, but whatever that Sunday is.
Okay, the first Sunday.
Yeah, and it's gonna be 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
All right, so that's January 28th is a Sunday.
Okay, so that's the first one. And then the second one is going to be that Tuesday, also at 10 a.m. And hopefully Nile is going
we might have a conflict.
Do we have?
Mountain
Oh, because I was good. No, that's right. Because I'm doing it in the evening. So on the Tuesday, I'm actually doing it evening. It's 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, you're smart to do two different times. Okay. So you're doing Sunday, the first Sunday, 28th, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So that's Arizona time. And then Tuesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Right. And Nile is going to join me for one or both of those.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And then you're also doing I saw your post.
Treasure box. Yes. So I'm going to shop for my people. So if you would like me to shop for you, we have got pre-sale going on right now on some Tucson treasure boxes. And there's two levels this year. There's a $50 box and there's a $125 box. So you can kind of pick your level, and it's going to be gemstones. There's going to be some check glass in there. There's going to be some findings in there. And it is going to be so much fun. I did that last year. Last year, I just did the $50 price point, and everybody adored their boxes. So we're going to do it again.
You were busy making those last year.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, I have a team to help me out this year.
I'm so glad. Yeah, you were doing like all of it. I could not. I was like, how is Jill sleeping?
I didn't. Well, and I also had
your team really well this year.
Yeah, I really did. I hired 2 extra people this year, and I've brought in some contractors also, and the team just gels so well. I'm really, really pleased with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So you have Jill's schedule, and then to get the pre-orders, that's through your main website,
JillWisemanDesigns.com. Right. When you click the shop button at JillWisemanDesigns.com, it's that very first screen that comes up. You can just click that, and it'll take you right to where you can choose from the 2 options.
Okay. Yay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Sam's Beach Shop schedule is currently set at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday live sales. We're doing them the beginning of the week. So, and we're doing the same time each day. So that's January 29th, 30th, and 31st, 10 a.m. Arizona time. I always get confused because they don't do daylight savings, but we'll
figure it out.
We'll email. I'll make sure you all are in the loop. So that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be bringing all the goodies that I've already shopped from the first couple days, and then some to those sales. And then Rachel's running the class wing for us in Tucson this year. So we're doing Monday through Friday daily classes, and that's going to be at 2:00
You guys
Arizona
are
time.
nuts.
Well, we've got me, Jesse, Rachel coming out. Shire was already planning to come out even before she was joined the shop. So we've got a whole little crew. So we're gonna make it all together. We're gonna try to make the magic happen. So we have 5 different teachers for the 5 days in Tucson. So we're very excited for those. And then after the class on Tuesday, you can join Jill's live sale. So you have lots of Tucson TV coming your way. That should be a lot of fun.
That's right.
So we'll make sure you guys are all in the loop with that. In the meantime, check out Jill and I's websites and help support us before we go spend too much money.
I know.
Because we want to buy all of the beautiful pretties for you when we're in Tucson. So you can go to samsbeadshop.com and Jill Wiseman Designs.
Yep, with an S.com.
Yep. To find all sorts of goodies. And what's cool is that Jill and I have like kind of a nice complementing sites. Jill has like the most amazing array of seed beads and components, threads, needles, like kits. Like I'm always amazed by the mix that you sell and like the depth of number of colors that you carry. So please support a small shop when you're looking for your seed beading needs. Like you are impacting an amazing human and her whole team. So please think of Jill for your everything seed bead and more. And then Sam's Bead Shop, we really specialize in the stones, and then Rachel curates all of our check glass these days. So between the 2 sites, you can have many of your needs covered, which I think is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And you're supporting small business owners who are just trying to put some good out in the world. That's why we do this. So
that's right.
I think is that it for us today, Jill?
For today.
Who
knows what other kind of trouble we can get in the future. That's the problem, is when we are in the same room together, then the ideas start flying and we commit to all this stuff, and oh my goodness.
I have good hope for us over the coming year, Jill. I have very good hope for us. This is our year.
Yes. I'm down with that.
So everyone, thank you for joining us today. If you didn't catch the whole thing, the whole replay will be available on Sam's Bead Shop YouTube channel and the Jill Wiseman Designs YouTube channel. Check out both of our channels for hundreds of tutorials. We've got you covered. And if you just need some inspiration in this January cold season, come find some inspiration. We hope we have you covered. So we'll see you all probably in Tucson. Yeah. I think we'll probably be hopefully live together in Tucson at some point. So
that would be fun. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. So everyone have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you from Tucson. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys.